Hello, this video will introduce EMC VNX SnapSure. In this video, I will provide an overview of the VNX SnapSure feature. The overview discusses what the feature is and why you would use this feature. Then I will demonstrate how to use SnapSure from Unisphere. EMC VNX SnapSure is a VNX file software feature that enables you to create and manage checkpoints. Checkpoints are commonly referred to as snaps or snapshots. They are point-in-time images of a production file system. A checkpoint often requires far less disk space than a full copy, which makes it a very powerful and cost-saving feature. From an end-user perspective, a checkpoint is similar to an accessible file system when viewed over a CIFS or NFS client. So, what's the value of using checkpoints? First, read-only checkpoints help administrators to process user file recovery requests without the overhead of a file recovery from backup media. You can also restore an entire file system and return or roll back to a last known state effectively from a checkpoint. Backing up live production data introduces the risk of distorting versions of files that are backed up. While taking a backup of a production file system, some of its files may be accessed and modified before they are backed up. By backing up from a checkpoint of the production file system, administrators can be confident in their ability to recall the point-in-time state of a file or file system. Production changes can be first tested on a writable checkpoint copy of a production file system. After the desired changes are proven stable, they can be rolled out into the production environment confidently, thereby reducing potential downtime and business level impact. So let's move on to the demo portion. In this demo, I'll show you how to create a checkpoint and checkpoint schedule for a production file system, how to restore individual files, and how to restore a file system from a checkpoint. Here you are on the landing page when you log on to Unisphere. I select one of the systems in my domain from the drop-down menu. From the system homepage, click the Data Protection tab. From here, click the Snapshots page item. The Checkpoints tab lists the existing checkpoints on the system. To create a checkpoint, go to the bottom of the tab and click the Create button. A Create Checkpoint window will appear. Here you select which production file system you want to create a checkpoint for from the drop-down menu. Next, you have the option of creating a writable checkpoint. Leaving this field unchecked will create a read-only checkpoint. Next, you give the checkpoint a name. For this demo, I will name this checkpoint demo_fs_CKPT1. When creating the first checkpoint for a production file system, the creation process will have to create a checkpoint storage, which is also known as a save volume. A checkpoint storage captures the blocks of data required to preserve the checkpoint views as the production file system data changes over time. For the purposes of this demo, we will keep the size and high watermark defaults. Then we click the OK button. Once the operation is completed, the new checkpoint will appear on the Checkpoints tab. Another way to create a checkpoint is to have the system automatically create one for you through a schedule. A checkpoint schedule can be helpful when you want to have a checkpoint created at a specific times of the day or the week, such as having a checkpoint for a production file system created during off-peak hours every night. So let's create a checkpoint schedule. On this page, click on the Schedules tab on the top. Any existing schedules for any file system will be listed on this tab. To create one, go to the bottom of this tab and click the Create button. A window will appear for you to configure a checkpoint schedule. First, select a file system and give it a name. For this demo, we will create a schedule that will create a checkpoint of demo_fs every night at 2 a.m. in the morning. We will name it demo_fs_nightly. The checkpoints can also have unique names based on the time it was taken or prefixed by a custom value. Here we will prefix all checkpoints for this schedule with the name nightly. All checkpoints created will have names such as nightly 1, nightly 2, etc. We can also give a description of the schedule. The checkpoint schedule will recur every day starting today. Then we can select the time of the day it will take place, which is exactly at 2 a.m. We also would like to keep a maximum of 7 checkpoints from the schedule. That means when the 8th checkpoint is created, the first checkpoint that was created will be deleted. Then we click the OK button to create the schedule. Once completed, the Schedules tab will list the schedule for demo_fs. I already populated the demo_fs file system with data for the purposes of this demo. Let's take a look at the file system from a CIF share. There's a bunch of files in this directory, so let's delete a couple files and access this checkpoint to restore those files. And users sometimes delete files off a file system by accident and need to restore them. With checkpoints, restoring a file is much easier to do than asking the backup administrator to restore it from backup media. Here we're going to delete a couple of image files. Now we can access the Previous Versions tab to restore these files. Right-click the window to get to the directory or file system properties. Now click the Previous Versions tab. Here there's a list of checkpoints for this file system. Select the checkpoint and open it. From here you can copy and drag the files deleted earlier back to the CIF share. Just like that, your files are restored. There's also another way to do file level recovery, and this is the .ckpt method. Go into the address bar, you could append .ckpt to the address. Then it will show all the previous versions of this file provided by checkpoints that have been made for this file system. This method is supported by NFS clients as well as some Windows clients. This is now supported on Windows 2008 and Windows 7 operating systems. Next, we will restore a file system from a checkpoint. First, you go back to Unisphere and go to the Checkpoints tab. Next, you highlight the checkpoint you wish to restore. Then you will click the Restore button that's located at the bottom of the tab. A window will appear. There you will enter a name for a second checkpoint, and this checkpoint will be taken at the time of the restore in case you would like to roll back to the original view before this restore. Clicking the OK button will start the restore. That ends the demonstration of VNX SnapSure. In conclusion to this video, checkpoints provide customers with multiple non-disaster recoverable copies of production data, an easy way to recover individual files, and a safe and space-efficient way to test changes in a sandbox environment. before propagating them to a production environment. For additional information about VNX SnapSure, you can go to EMC PowerLink and enter the keywords VNX and SnapSure on the search bar.